Here we'll take a small metal sieve and pressing down firmly drag it over the entire surface of a stick of butter. We can put these wonderful strands on bread for a snack. We can cut off the top portion of this plastic bottle, place it on top of a glass bottle, and then very carefully heat up the edges using a heat fan. No spills, no leaks, we can continue to use the bottle just like this. Here we have a small piece of PVC pipe and the clips for it. Insert the clips in between the slots of the heater and turn the clips vertical. Press the PVC pipe into the clips, and now we have a convenient towel rack whenever we need. We can actually make interesting use of this banana peel. If our cutlery is dull, we can rub the cutlery with the inside of the banana peel. Wipe clean using a paper towel or napkin, and now our cutlery shines like new. When I cut a piece of parchment paper into a circle or some other shape, instead of throwing away the trimmings, we can use them like so. Wipe down the faucet or sink with a piece of parchment paper. There are no streaks, and now when water drips on, it leaves no traces. Perhaps you have a jar of honey that's hard and crystallized? Here we'll learn to quickly turn it back into liquid. With the help of an immersion blender, start to blend the honey. It soon becomes runny and develops a very interesting creamy texture, sometimes called creamed honey or whipped honey. Ice cube bags are convenient for storing tomato paste. We are using homemade tomato paste and the largest syringe we could find at the pharmacy. Fill the syringe with tomato paste and press into the ice cube bag. It's quick, easy and clean. Store the tomato paste cubes in the freezer. If necessary, we can cut off the required number of cubes, put the rest back in the freezer to store. When buying bell peppers, always follow these tips. If the bell pepper is heavy, then it will be juicy. Also, when gently squeezing the bell pepper, the flesh should spring back. If the pepper is soft, then it's likely that the walls are thin. Let's check. To remove the stem, it's not necessary to cut into the pepper at all. Gently push the stem down to the pepper, working your way around the stem in a circle. Now we can pull it out. Shake out all the extra seeds and we are left with a beautiful pepper. Well, thanks to your advice, I have not thrown away the seeds for quite some time now. Remove the stem, leaving just the pith and the seeds. Roughly chop and then dry thoroughly. In a coffee grinder, grind the seeds to a powder. Now we have an excellent pepper seasoning, rich in trace minerals and vitamins. You can complement it with any dishes to your liking. Now we'll be cooking classic stuffed peppers. Start with any ground meat. Add water to make the consistency of meat much more liquid. This will make the stuffed pepper filling much more juicy. Not to mention, it will make our job of stuffing the peppers more convenient. We'll use a large pasture bag with a large hole or a simple regular bag with the corner cut off. Fill each pepper, starting from the bottom and moving up as it fills. It's very fast and convenient, and it's easy to keep all the peppers clean on the outside. And after 35-40 minutes of cooking in tomato juice, our peppers are ready to serve. To quickly cut the mushrooms into slices, you can use a conventional egg slicer. And if you turn the cut mushroom 90 degrees and cut it again, you get excellent stripes. This makes preparing mushrooms very convenient. In order to store lettuce leaves for longer, put the lettuce leaves into a container with several sugar cubes. So ensure that the lettuce and the sugar don't come into contact with one another. We'll use a cupcake liner for the sugar cubes. Everyone loves homemade cottage cheese. Today we'll be sharing our favorite way of preparing it. Start by pouring the milk into oven-safe pots. We'll then add a bit of sour cream or kefir into each pot. Cover with a cotton or linen towel. To prevent the towel from getting wet, we'll use wooden spoons or skewers on top of the pots. Leave just like this, at room temperature, for about a day. Our milk has now become nice and solidified. In each pot, cut the congealed milk into several parts so that our future cottage cheese doesn't jump out of the pots during the cooking process. The liquid should look like this, a yellow-greenish in color. Put all of the pots in the preheated oven at 90 degrees Celsius. This is just for pasteurization. Leave in the oven for an hour and a half. Remove the pots from the oven to cool down a little so we can drain the cottage cheese. We can use a cheesecloth for this. Add in the cottage cheese. If anyone is interested, we can further discuss the use of the cottage cheese liquid too. The cottage cheese itself needs to be suspended so that excess moisture drains properly. Place the pot underneath to catch the remaining liquid. Leave the cottage cheese to hang for 7-8 hours. We are left with such a wonderful result. Very soft, tender and delicious cottage cheese. No sour flavor and it's purely homemade. Put the cottage cheese in a container and store it in the fridge. You can add it in your favorite dish or eat it as is. We'll be showing a great use for it in a bit. In the meantime, I'll need roasted bell peppers for this dish. Place the peppers on a baking sheet and put them in a preheated oven at 220 degrees Celsius. After about 15-20 minutes, each pepper will be nicely charred, which means that it will be very easy to remove the skin. Another quick tip: place the peppers in a bowl and cover with a lid or plastic bag. Leave for 15-20 minutes. The peppers will cool down and become very easy to clean. The skin peels right off. Don't pour out the liquid from the peppers, we'll be using it soon. After peeling the peppers, carefully remove the seeds and pith. The seeds, by the way, will also save, but more on that later. Cut the pepper itself into 3-4 pieces. Then we'll make small slits in each piece. Place baked peppers in a small container. Carefully drain the liquid from the peppers into a separate container. For the marinade, we'll mix the liquid from the peppers, soy sauce, water, a bit of lemon juice, and a bit of vegetable oil. If desired, we can add a drop of sesame oil for flavor. Next, we'll add dried garlic, ground coriander, and dried basil. Pour the marinade over the peppers and let the flavor infuse in the fridge for at least 8-10 hours. We now have beautiful, aromatic, and flavorful marinated peppers. Using our cottage cheese from earlier, spread it onto slices of toast. Sprinkle with salt and chopped herbs. And we'll place a slice of marinated pepper on top. See how beautiful the cottage cheese looks through the slits? These snacks are not only beautiful, but they're also stunningly delicious.